Have you ever wondered why some people seem to understand spoken language effortlessly, while others spend years struggling to catch up? Imagine sitting in a room full of native speakers, effortlessly following the conversation, while someone else struggles to pick out even a few words. What makes the difference? Is mastering listening skills a slow, steady climb? Or does it happen suddenly, like flipping a switch? These questions spark an important debate for anyone learning a new language or trying to improve their listening abilities. Listening is one of the most crucial skills in communication. Whether you're trying to learn a second language, improve workplace communication, or simply understand others better, listening is the foundation of it all. In the context of language learning, being a good listener means more than just hearing words. It's about understanding accents, deciphering nuances, and grasping implied meanings. However, how listening skills develop is a topic of much discussion. Some believe progress is gradual, requiring consistent effort over time. Others argue that improvement often feels sudden, with breakthroughs occurring after moments of clarity. The truth is that listening skills improve gradually, as the brain becomes more familiar with patterns and structures in language. However, breakthroughs can and do happen when consistent exposure, effort, and practice align perfectly. These moments of sudden clarity might feel magical, but they are built on a foundation of gradual progress. Understanding this balance between steady improvement and moments of rapid advancement can motivate learners to stay persistent, even when progress feels slow. Whether you're just starting out or trying to refine your listening skills, knowing how they develop can guide you toward better strategies and results. The nature of listening skill development. What are listening skills? Listening skills are more than just the ability to hear sounds or recognize words. They involve understanding spoken language, identifying tones and emotions, and interpreting nuances within conversations. For example, recognizing sarcasm, detecting subtle shifts in a speaker's mood, or understanding cultural references all fall under effective listening. This skill is a complex interplay of vocabulary, context, and comprehension. Vocabulary forms the building blocks, while context helps us piece together the meaning of words and sentences. Comprehension ties it all together, enabling us to make sense of what we hear and respond appropriately. Why listening develops gradually. Listening is a skill that improves with repeated exposure and practice over time. Much like a muscle, the brain strengthens its ability to process language patterns the more it is exercised. Every time you listen to a new word, phrase, or accent, your brain starts identifying patterns and creating mental associations. Over time, this repeated exposure allows you to predict meanings and understand even unfamiliar words within a specific context. The gradual buildup of vocabulary also plays a critical role. You start with basic, frequently used words and phrases, then expand to more complex expressions. Contextual understanding enhances this growth as you begin to pick up on nonverbal cues, intonation, and cultural elements embedded in conversations. Additionally, consistent practice strengthens neural pathways, enabling faster and more efficient processing of auditory input. This is why language learners often notice subtle but steady improvement with daily exposure to native speakers, audiobooks, or media. The process may feel slow, but every listening moment is a step toward mastery. The case for sudden breakthroughs. Moments of clarity. While listening skills often develop gradually, there are moments of sudden clarity that can feel like dramatic leaps forward. These breakthroughs often happen when you suddenly understand a complex sentence or follow a fast-paced conversation that previously would have left you confused. For instance, you might be watching a movie and realize for the first time that you can understand the dialogue without relying on subtitles. These moments of clarity not only boost your comprehension, but also significantly increase your confidence in your ability to listen and understand effectively. They can feel magical, like a fog lifting, allowing you to see the bigger picture of the language you're learning. Factors leading to breakthroughs. Breakthroughs don't happen randomly. They are the result of specific factors coming together at the right time. One of the most powerful triggers is intensive immersion. Living in a foreign country where you're surrounded by native speakers forces your brain to adapt quickly to the language. Similarly, engaging with challenging materials like movies, podcasts, or conversations without subtitles pushes your listening skills to their limits, creating opportunities for sudden improvement. Another key factor is focused practice. When you actively work on difficult areas, such as unfamiliar accents or technical vocabulary, your brain is primed to make connections that lead to breakthroughs. Additionally, overcoming a mental block, such as the fear of misunderstanding or the anxiety of listening in a group setting, can unlock hidden potential. Once you let go of the fear of making mistakes, you'll find yourself more open to processing and understanding language. Sudden breakthroughs are often the result of consistent effort, combined with moments of intense focus or exposure. While they may feel spontaneous, they are built on the foundation of gradual progress and dedicated practice. Gradual versus sudden. A combined perspective. How gradual learning paves the way for breakthroughs. The development of listening skills is not an either-or situation between gradual progress and sudden breakthroughs. In reality, these two processes work hand in hand, with gradual learning forming the foundation for those exciting moments of sudden clarity. Incremental learning involves building a strong base of knowledge and familiarity with a language through consistent exposure. For instance, listening to podcasts, watching shows, or engaging in conversations regularly helps your brain absorb patterns, vocabulary, and intonation over time. This steady progress primes your mind for breakthroughs. When you repeatedly expose yourself to language in different forms, your brain begins to identify subtle cues, such as shifts in tone, pronunciation nuances, and contextual clues. Eventually, this groundwork leads to moments where everything clicks. Suddenly, you understand a previously confusing accent or you follow a fast-paced dialogue without missing a beat. These breakthroughs feel instantaneous, but are the result of hours, weeks, or even months of steady practice. The importance of patience. Breakthroughs, while thrilling, are rare without consistent effort. Many language learners become frustrated when progress feels slow, but patience is essential in this process. Gradual improvement is the invisible work your brain does to internalize what it hears, even when you don't realize it. Think of it as planting seeds. Consistent watering and care lead to growth, even if it's not immediately visible. Expecting sudden leaps without steady effort can lead to disappointment. It's important to celebrate small wins, such as understanding a new word or phrase, as these milestones indicate progress. Over time, these incremental gains accumulate and create the perfect conditions for those breakthrough moments that feel like leaps forward. Patience, persistence, and consistency are the keys to blending gradual improvement with sudden breakthroughs, ensuring long-term success in mastering listening skills. Strategies for improving listening skills. Adopt gradual practices. Improving your listening skills requires consistent and intentional practice over time. Start by incorporating daily listening exercises into your routine. Listening to podcasts, audiobooks, or even casual conversations in your target language is a great way to get familiar with its rhythm, vocabulary, and tone. Choose materials that match your current skill level and gradually increase the complexity as you grow more comfortable. Using subtitles is another excellent way to bridge the gap between hearing and understanding. For beginners, watching movies or shows with subtitles in your native language can help you connect sounds to meanings. As your skills improve, transition to subtitles in the target language, which will reinforce your vocabulary. Eventually, challenge yourself by watching without subtitles to develop your ability to rely solely on your listening comprehension. This gradual shift helps you build confidence while reinforcing foundational skills. Maximize chances of breakthroughs. To accelerate your progress, immerse yourself in real-life situations where you're surrounded by native speakers. Immersion forces your brain to adapt quickly, as it must process and respond to language in real time. Traveling to a country where your target language is spoken or engaging with native speakers in your community are excellent ways to create immersive environments. Challenging yourself with diverse accents and advanced content also boosts your chances of experiencing breakthroughs. Expose yourself to different dialects, regional variations, and fast-paced conversations to stretch your comprehension skills. While this may feel overwhelming at first, pushing beyond your comfort zone helps your brain identify patterns and adapt more efficiently. Combining gradual practices with opportunities for intense exposure ensures steady improvement while increasing the likelihood of those exciting moments of sudden clarity. These strategies create a balanced and effective approach to mastering listening skills. Story of a language learner. Consider the story of Maria, a Spanish speaker learning English. Initially, Maria struggled to understand basic conversations. She started by listening to slow-paced English podcasts with subtitles, pausing frequently to look up unfamiliar words. Over several months, Maria's vocabulary grew, and her brain became accustomed to common patterns in English. She noticed gradual improvement in understanding simple sentences and conversations. One day, Maria decided to attend a local English-speaking group. At first, she felt overwhelmed by the speed and variety of accents. But during one session, something clicked. She found herself following an entire conversation about a movie she had watched. For the first time, she didn't have to mentally translate every word. That moment was her breakthrough. She realized she could understand English without overthinking. Maria credits her success to months of steady practice that prepared her for that sudden leap in comprehension. Famous polyglots. Famous polyglots who master multiple languages often describe their listening journeys as a blend of slow progress and transformative breakthroughs. Take the example of Luca Lampariello, a renowned polyglot who speaks over 10 languages. He emphasizes the importance of consistent listening practice to build a solid foundation, but he also shares how immersion and challenging situations lead to sudden improvements. He recounts moments when he could suddenly follow conversations in a language he had been practicing for months. Another example is Benny Lewis, the Irish polyglot, who advocates for speaking early and immersing yourself in listening activities. Benny describes how small, gradual improvements, like understanding key phrases, eventually lead to moments of clarity, where an entire conversation suddenly makes sense. These examples highlight that while breakthroughs feel sudden, they are built on the foundation of consistent effort and gradual learning. Conclusion. Listening skills are a combination of steady, gradual improvement and the occasional thrilling breakthrough. While consistent practice helps you build a strong foundation, those sudden moments of clarity often mark the culmination of your hard work. Both processes are essential and interconnected, forming a complete path to mastering listening comprehension. If you're on the journey to improving your listening skills, stay patient and consistent. Every podcast you listen to, every conversation you try to follow, and every effort you make contributes to your progress. Gradual improvement might feel slow at times, but it's preparing your brain for those exciting breakthroughs when everything just clicks. Embrace the process and don't give up. Your dedication will pay off. Remember, every word you listen to takes you one step closer to fluency. Whether you're experiencing slow, steady progress or an exhilarating leap forward, celebrate your small victories and trust the journey. If you found this helpful, make sure to like this video, share it with someone who's also learning a language, and subscribe to our channel for more tips and strategies to improve your language skills. Together, let's make the path to fluency an enjoyable and successful experience.